Hey, numbnuts, what'd you do that for?
For the good of the trip. You don't need a GPS to discover America. You need a bike and you need the road, okay? Freedom. And if we have an emergency, I got a cell phone.
Oh, you don't.
What? Hey! Why'd you do that? I got all my data in there.
Well, how does that feel, Woody?
Feels good.
Lean into it. Lean into it. Push, push, push. Oh, I love that turn. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. ChopperFett here. Welcome you to another happy Wednesday. I'm hoping by the time this actually gets published, we're done with this Corona crap. But if not, I welcome you into another motorcycle ride here in the great state of Kansas. So I thought today would be a good day to ride after work. And it's windier than I thought, although, yeah, there it goes. That's okay. Just a little short little jaunt. I thought today, though, I would at least talk about some bucket list things that I have in relation to a motorcycle. Now, this will actually be, in total, a 3-part series. I don't know when the other 2 are going to go and be published or even be created, but I wanted to at least get the first one in today. And wowzers, it's always such a huge gust into this prairie field. Wow. Anywho, figured we'd go ahead and talk about my bucket list rides for my immediate area. Now, when I say immediate area, I'm from Kansas City. So I am talking about anything from Kansas side, Missouri side. We'll even include Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Arkansas as local rides, okay? So I have a top 5 that I came up with, and some of them are short little trips. The others might require me to stay overnight somewhere. Actually, a couple of them would have to require me to stay overnight somewhere. So the first one, we'll start it as local as possible here, and that is to go on a quote-unquote pilgrimage to the old harley-davidson manufacturing plant up here in Kansas City. Now, the reason I think this would be such a cool experience to go to, now granted, it is closed, no bikes are being made there anymore, but I think what would be cool, and I'd really want my wife to be able to go with us as well, is because my Dyna, her Sportster, and my dad's V-Rod were all made in that manufacturing plant. Hers is an 06 Sportster, mine's an 09 Dyna, and Dad has a 12 V-Rod. I just think it'd be so awesome to get the bikes up there and, you know, take some pictures, of course, but just kind of pay homage to where our bikes came from. The year before the plant closed, my dad had purchased us all the steel toe tour where you could actually go down the assembly line, etc. He got this stuff for Christmas, but unfortunately later that year they announced the closing of the plant, and we weren't able to get it done before it closed. It was too hard to get the logistics worked out between everyone to get up here and ride and get to the plant. So that's one reason I want to go back there, is just to kind of see the facility and all of its grandeur, even though it's all run down and it's shut down and not as cool as it once was, just to see some of those shadows of the past. Oh, I like that, Shadows of the Past. Might have to call that the name of that film. Hi, bird. Whoa, a little late. The next trip I would like to go to in this area would be the Flint Hills of Kansas. Now you guys are probably thinking, hills? Really? That's exciting for you? Well, if you're not even talking about Kansas landscape, it's about as gorgeous an area as you can get. The Flint Hills are a big grassy plain that, you know, have some pretty good elevation changes. Nothing mountainous or anything crazy, but a good enough size to where you definitely will feel that elevation change. I've never actually explored any of the back roads that go through there, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect. I just always, whenever I went to go see my brother down in Oklahoma, we always just took the highway down, and you know, it was always gorgeous. So I can only imagine what it would be going off of like a side road and maybe seeing some overlook, something like that. The third trip here in the localish area would be going back to my hometown of Independence, Kansas, where I was born. I talked a few videos ago that Dad and I had been taking some test rides around Kansas City to get our bodies kind of acclimated to the whopping 150-mile trip that it would be. I know it's not very far. He knows it's not very far. But it's one of those things where if you're not used to it, it could catch you off guard. So I think it'd be cool to go around, go see my old house, go to the old park that has a one-way through the zoo. They had a nice lake down in that same area. There are things there to do that when you live there you kind of took for granted, and now that you have moved away you kind of miss them a little bit. So I think that would be an awesome one. What's really cool about that is my brother from Oklahoma could probably meet us halfway. We could stay there a night or two and then make our trip back. Number 4 is a little bit further away. So I live in Kansas City here, and Nebraska is here. I've never been to Nebraska. I've lived in Kansas City for 12 years, 13, oh no, 17 years now. Oh my God, 17 years. I've never even accidentally went into Nebraska. I think it'd be an awesome little trip up to maybe Omaha or Lincoln or someplace along those lines. Check out what they have to offer, stay a night or two again there, hit up some back roads, and then kind of come back home. I can't really expand too much on the Nebraska trip as I haven't really started that research, but it's something that I want to have done, and I want to do it on the motorcycle. And let's see, number 5 that I would love to do, this is going to be the furthest away, and that would be to hit up Arkansas, kind of like the Eureka Springs area. Now my thought process on this trip would be figure out a way that I could get to Oklahoma City in one day, which I think is about 350 miles. If I started early enough on a summer day, took enough breaks, I could get to Oklahoma City, stay with my brother. Then if you wanted to come with, we could head east to Eureka, and I want to so badly ride the pig trail. I think that the big trail is kind of like the miniature dragon. I think it'd be great. Again, I never said I was like a canyon carver, but I do enjoy a good twisty road, and especially with how the bike's been handling lately with the upgraded suspension, I really would love to kind of not see what it can do, but just have that experience. So those are my top 5 local things. Again, this is kind of like Midwesterny, I guess would be the right word for it. What are some of your guys' bucket list trips that you want to go on? When I said this is going to be a 3-part series, basically the other sections that I would want to explore would be a bucket list for the entire United States, and then a world bucket list. I got to strike it rich to definitely get to the world bucket list, but I think I could maybe get most of the US ones done. But go ahead and post up what some of yours are if you've already accomplished some of your bucket list items. I'd love to hear them, because who knows, maybe my top 5 could change up a little bit based off things that you have done and your experiences. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here, because when they say stay at home, they don't mean stay at home here in Kansas City, I guess, myself included. But hey, I'm not interacting with anybody. I'm staying as far away from them as humanly possible. And I do that anyway. But with that being said, I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I will catch you on the next dark side, as that is the way. The ChopperFett will be seeing you now. Okay, goodbye.